Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Urvashi, and today in this video I'm going to be talking about Ketu's transit into the nakshatra of Moola. So this transit started on the 15th of January. Ketu entered Moola on the 15th of January, and Ketu is going to be in Moola till the 24th of September. So in fact on the 24th of September, Ketu is going to then change its zodiac. It's going to go into Scorpio, which is Ketu's own sign. Until Ketu enters Scorpio, this entire stretch of 9 months, Ketu is going to be in Moola. Ketu is in its sign of exaltation in Sagittarius, and it now enters its own nakshatra. The nakshatra which resonates very closely to Ketu. What is Ketu? Ketu is a spiritual planet, and we are spiritual beings, all of us, and we are souls inside a body, and ultimate aim in life is to move towards a higher consciousness, to evolve into better people, and that is the purpose or goal of Ketu. Especially if you are going through a Ketu Mahadasha and you're young, you're less than, let's suppose, 45-50, then you're going to feel maybe more of a stress factor, lack of happiness. Ketu actually pulls you back to where you should be. Sometimes in life we tend to fly too high. Sometimes we are living in illusions. Sometimes we are not very grounded. So Ketu grounds us, brings us back to realities, makes us see what is important in life, what is not important in life. And in that process, sometimes during a Ketu Mahadasha, we tend to go through a lot of different lessons, sometimes which are not so easy. And when in young age, when hormonal levels are very high and our aims are only materialistic, then we tend to suffer a little bit in a Ketu Mahadasha. But if you go through a Ketu Dasha at a later age in life, then it doesn't seem that difficult, because then we gradually do move towards spirituality, with age, with time. And so then Ketu doesn't bother us so much. It helps us move towards that direction in a much quicker way. So that is basically a gist of what Ketu is. And if you're already grounded, if you live in a very real world, if you're more connected towards spirituality, if you are not living in some kind of an illusion, like Rahu-ruled people are people who are more under the influence of Rahu. Rahu are, living in a very different world. They're thinking big things and they're imagining a lot of things, and it's a lot of illusion that they're living in, and they're not very grounded sometimes. So Ketu tends to pull us back towards reality. It tends to show us real life situations, problems, difficulties, so that we evolve as people. It is only when we go through difficulties that we move towards spirituality, and that is the motive of Ketu. And if you're already connected, like I said, to your spiritual self, to your inner self, if you are meditating a little bit, if you're grounded, if you do not go with a lot of frills, if you don't move around with a lot of frills in life, if there's not much of show off, if you're not really going around exhibiting things, pretending things, showing things off, if you are a simpler person, then Ketu doesn't generally bother you that much. Then Ketu is a very supportive energy for that kind of an energy to grow. So similarly, Moola is also not a very easy energy. Moola is all about, it's called the roots of the universe. It's a difficult nakshatra. It's a nakshatra for going towards the bottom of things, towards the base of everything. So whatever in life you're going through, whatever situations you're going through, to be able to, understand the base or the bottom or the reality of the situation, Moola is the best nakshatra. But in the process of getting towards the bottom of things, sometimes we have to get rid of a lot of illusions. Sometimes we have to get rid of a lot of fake ideas that we were having or harboring, or however you'd like to say it. So it's a difficult nakshatra. That is why it's called the nakshatra of destruction, the nakshatra of tearing things apart, because we have to get rid of certain illusions, of certain things that we are imagining that really do not exist, in order to get towards the bottom of things. So that is the energy of Moola, of going towards the bottom and of getting rid of all the frills. And Ketu here takes us towards spirituality by helping us shed off all that show that we harbor around ourselves, of all the frills that we are carrying, of all the illusion about us, and taking us back to our basic nature, which is not easy. So Ketu in Moola is going to be a powerful energy if we are more grounded, if we are more connected to ourselves, if we have some kind of a spiritual routine, if you're not flying too high. Rahu person would be, flying too high, would be showing off, would be throwing around names. And a Ketu person would be a simpler spiritual person. So if the Ketu energy is already there about you, then this is a supportive energy for you. And if the Rahu energy is more enhanced, if you feel the need to pretend to be something that you are not, or I am not, or whoever, or whatever, if you feel the need to show something to somebody, if you feel the need to be running in the rat race that the whole world is running with, then this can be a difficult transit for you, because Ketu has that energy of spirituality and of taking us back to our basic selves, of cutting out the frills, and Moola has that energy of going towards the bottom of things. In a way, it's positive. It will help us see a reality that maybe otherwise we will not see, and we would sometimes be living in illusions. But it can be difficult, and we may have to give up a lot of things in the process. It could be whatever, could be relationships, could be whatever you're going through. Sometimes we need to see the reality of a situation, and that is what Ketu in Moola will be doing for all of us. Now, usually for the nakshatra videos, I like to make a short slide above for all the nakshatras, but this time I could not do that. So I'm just going to share with you basically how it's going to be for all the nakshatras. So for the Ketu ruled nakshatras, Ashwini, Magha and Moola, this is going to be if your moon is in Ashwini, Magha or Moola. In that case, Ketu transiting through Moola is not going to be an easy transit, because this is your Janam Nakshatra. So this directly will impact your thinking, your personality, your perception, how you see the world. So maybe it'll be like a reality check for you in many ways. So not easy for the Ketu ruled nakshatras. It is directly impacting your Janam Nakshatra. So it is going to change your perception. By the time this transit is finished, you're going to be a changed person for the positive. But sometimes the transition is not that easy. So certain experiences could come about that may be a little uncomfortable in the process, but at the end of the day, it's all going to be better for you. Now, talking about the Venus ruled nakshatras, which are Bharani, Purva Falguni and Purvashada. So this is a more supportive transit for the Venus ruled nakshatras, and for all of us, it is going to be a reality check. We are all going to be moving towards the bottom of things or whatever situations we are in, but it's going to be a more supportive energy, less difficult for the Venus ruled nakshatras. Now I'm going to be talking about the Sun ruled nakshatras, which are Kritika, Uttara Falguni and Uttarashada. So for the Sun ruled nakshatras, also it's a definitely better energy, better than the Ketu ruled nakshatras, more supportive, or to get rid of, Ketu helps us get rid of things that we do not require in life. It could be certain desires, it could be certain names, and it makes us more realistic. And moves us, of course, towards spirituality. So for you also, for the Sun ruled nakshatras, it's going to be more supportive. Now I'm going to be talking about the Moon ruled nakshatras. So there are 3 nakshatras, Rohini and Hasta and Shravan. So for you people, it's going to be difficult. Sudden unexpected events could come up, sudden endings could be there, and like I said, it's all about getting towards the touching reality, touching base, getting towards the bottom of things. So this could be a little bit of a difficult transit for the Moon ruled nakshatra people. So just stay very practical, just cut out all the frills, and be very watchful of what's going on, and you'll get your message very loud and clear. So one way of dealing with the Ketu in Moola would be to be very balanced, to not go towards any extremes, to not take any major decisions, and to just watch the trend, to just watch how things are unfolding for you, and to connect with yourself, because Ketu is a very intuitive planet, and it will intuitively give you messages, and you will understand what the messages are. So it will just come to you. So be very thoughtful, be very connected to yourself. Try to understand your own thoughts. It could be dreams, it could be just sudden thoughts and intuitions that come up where you could get certain messages. So okay, now I'm going to be talking about, I've talked about the moon ruled nakshatras. I'm going to be talking about the Mars ruled nakshatras for Mrigashira and Chitra and Dhanishta. So this is going to be a time for accomplishment of some sorts, and maybe again by removing all that which is not required in your life. Maybe sometimes we are living in illusions and we are not able to see what is really important, what is not important, and we are wastefully spending our time. So this is going to help you achieve by removing those frills and a more supportive energy for the Mars ruled nakshatras. Now the Rahu ruled nakshatras, which are Ardra and Shatabishak, and there's Swati. So for these people, it's going to be a challenging time. There is going to be competition for you. There will be it's going to be a competitive time basically, so you need to gear up. But of course you will be seeing the reality of things, and you will understand what the real message of Ketu is there for you. Then I'm going to be talking about the Jupiter ruled nakshatras. So for Punarvasu, Vishakha and Purvabhadrapad. So for these three nakshatras, it's a supportive time, especially if you guys want to go deep into meditation, spirituality. This is going to be very, very supportive for you, and you're going to be feeling very, very connected to yourself. And generally too, it's going to be a supportive, good period for you. But like I suggested, it'll be great if you could, go towards spirituality and make some kind of a spiritual routine. You'd feel much more happier in that case, because the time is very supportive. And then I'm going to be talking about the Saturn ruled nakshatras. So these are Pushya, Uttarabhadrapad and Anuradha. So for these people, not that easy. This is slightly difficult, more challenging, more obstacles coming your way, more of effort will be required. You got to be prepared. You need to gear up. You need to prepare yourself mentally for the challenge. It's a challenging time for you. And then I'm going to be talking about the Mercury ruled nakshatras, which are Jyeshtha, Ashlesha and Revati. We all have to go through this process of churning with Ketu in Moola. But for these three nakshatras, it's a more supportive time where family matters are concerned, where your sustenance or your wealth is concerned. So this is going to be a more supportive time. So like I said, the best remedy for this transit is being very moderate, not going towards any extremes, not taking any extreme decisions, but just watching the trend of this transit and trying to connect with that message that the universe is sending you, and trying to understand what is all that you need to shed off in your life, what is all that you need to get rid of. So this nakshatra is connected to destruction. So this could be destruction of something that you really need to get rid of in your life. And since Ketu is exalted, I would say that is the right way to see this transit. So now I will be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye for now.